Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 43rd Get Wet Water Garden Society kickoff. Well, what we're doing here tonight is having a presentation with a diverse segment of professionals and experts in various fields with respect to water resilience, water sustainability.
Water conservation has always been a hot button issue, particularly here in Colorado. Now more than ever, as we've seen drought becoming more and more prevalent and maybe not as cyclical as it used to be, it's something that I think we all need to really strongly consider what it's going to be like living in Colorado, particularly with less water.
All of our panel members, we all share this passion for water conservation, and each panelist will bring a unique perspective on all the issues.
And we're noticing now, as we are standing up this landscape transformation program, as we look around our service area, that maybe it's time for kind of a collective shift in our mindsets on what our landscape should look like.
We are in the arid West, and I think a lot of the plants that were selected for this city, for the state, were intended for eastern landscapes, for more moist environment. And this is a harsh environment to exist in. And unfortunately, Kentucky bluegrass does not belong here. It's really water thirsty. And with what's going on with the Colorado River, Lake Mead and Lake Powell being the lowest they've ever been, we all need to chip in and do our fair share to lower our water usage. And dumping one of our most valuable resources on Kentucky bluegrass isn't really in alignment with that goal.
When people talk about landscape transformation, they're talking about reducing the amount of non-functional turf, which is stuff like bluegrass that requires a lot of watering. I've put a pond in my backyard, and my water bill is ridiculously low compared to what it used to be when I was maintaining grass. There's so much more benefit I find to having a pond. It attracts wildlife. It attracts birds, pollinators, bees. That's almost the first thing that comes to my pond in the spring.
We do see a lot of people, it's like in their mind, the landscape is something that goes in when the house is built. It's a big rectangle, maybe rock around it, maybe mulch or whatever, and that's it. But there's so many more options and so many more attractive ways to do your yard, with native plants, with a water feature, with all that combined, and it kind of all flows together versus just kind of have that boring piece of turf that takes a lot of water to maintain.
Something that homeowners can do that's really beneficial in decreasing outdoor water use is considering transitioning their landscapes. And one of the easiest things that you can do, and maybe the first step you would consider, is renting a sod cutter to remove turf from your own property and then planting water-wise gardens in place of that water-thirsty turf grass. We currently offer efficiency programs and conservation programs through rebates for our residential customers, so giving them the opportunity to get a little money back when they invest in efficient fixtures, irrigation spray heads. We also partner with Resource Central for their Garden in a Box program, as well as their Slow the Flow program.
I think people have a lot of opportunities and choices, and what they can do. I mean, I've thought about this so much more in putting this panel together in terms of what can one person do? And the more you know, the more likely people are wanting to go ahead and do something that's making a huge difference.
You hear a lot of people pointing to the ag industry or Southern California, but we're benefiting from those industries. We're getting food from those industries, and the food grown in Southern California is going all over the world. So I would just say we need to quit pointing fingers at each other and do the right thing and do our fair share. And even if it is a little bit, even if it's just adjusting your sprinkler heads, maybe it's not getting rid of all of your grass. Maybe you've got kids or a dog, and that really is useful for you. But maybe it's more indoor water use for you. So we can find ways to be efficient that work for each individual. And I think just trying to do what you can and working collaboratively is how we'll be successful in the future.
If we could look at water and how we use it as not just some expendable resource, and people talk about natural resources and you think about, gold and mining, etc., and water is just, it's a treasure, but we need to take care of it and we need to think about it differently.
Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.